what he was saying, it's still slanderous. It is still a series of attacks that are going to leave the Clinton people just seething. But, you know, within the statements, let me just go to two issues that I think are pretty darn important, because he's essentially charging she's corrupt. And, you know, he said, he quoted somebody saying she ought to be in prison, not in the White House.
I believe he said she's the most corrupt person to ever see.
She might be. She may be the most corrupt.
Yeah, Richard Nixon, but
exactly.
Her in that basket.
Well, exactly. So his charge basically is that her husband had this foundation, and it was all pay for play. You give money to him, she changes her policies. He based that on a book called Clinton Cash. That book has been Schweitzer? Yeah, Schweitzer. It's been widely discredited. Schweitzer himself has gone on before national news organizations saying, I don't have evidence to prove that. I see a pattern that ought to be investigated. And Trump takes it and says, it's basically all true. Well, that's like, hey, listen, that's a different. We're going to places in American politics we have not seen in our lifetimes.
Yeah.
We are moving in a direction of
extrapolation extraordinary.
And it's just, we saw it in the early days of the Republic. We've seen it a few times in our history, but not in modern.
Can I just point out something? The first 100 days, the list of, I went over these points. Let me just summarize them very, very quickly. This is his plan. Appoint judges who will uphold the Constitution. Change immigration rules. Stand up to countries that cheat on trade. Cancel rules and regulations that send jobs overseas. Lift restrictions on energy production. Repeal and replace job-killing Obamacare. Pass massive tax reforms. Create millions of new jobs. Impose tough new ethics rules to restore dignity to the office of the Secretary of State. Do you know what's missing from that list? Build a wall, which has been the centerpiece of his entire campaign for the last year. No Muslim ban. That's not on this list.
Deportation.
And I didn't see anything about tighten up those libel laws to restrict, stop the presses, effectively.
Absolutely.
Those are the things that have gotten people frenzied in those giant halls that he's been packing for the last 12 months, and it's not on the list.
Absolutely, and well, I think that may be a move away because he got so hurt by going after the judge, and then right after Orlando.
What does that do to the base that's been supporting him up until now, Dave?
I think the base would be very happy with this speech.
You think they're just going to not remember these promises were made to them for a year?
I don't think a lot of people actually believe he'd build a wall. I especially don't think they believe he'd deport all those people. That's just not going to happen. Everyone knows that's not going to happen. But I think they will love the way he went after Hillary Clinton. That's what's really driving a lot of the folks who do think the system is rigged.
Are we that random as Americans that we can just ping pong back and forth between all these promises that were so popular? And like I said, almost exclusively the centerpiece of his campaign in the primaries, to something now that is now meat for all Republicans.
Actually, American politics are going off the track. We're going into places we've never been before in our lifetimes. And it's very distressing. If you go to that list, yes, he can do some things by executive order. But if he wins this election, if Hillary wins this election, based on the kind of fighting we're now seeing, nobody can cover. There's going to be a war in Washington that's going to continue on beyond the election. So, it's fascinating, but it's also very, very distressing.